Many thanks for staying tuned. It's still the conversation here on Lagos Television. We did tell you before we went on that break that today on the program we'll be taking a look at the race towards 2027 amid party coalition. Whether we believe it or not, the race towards 2027 has started and many people are beginning to jostle and of course form different coalitions towards the 2027 elections. But the question to ask is, these coalitions, are they a better alternative to the current administration, or their goal is just to unseat President Bola Tinubu? Well, that conversation begins now, and our guest today is an observer, a social commentator. Journalists, welcome Omoba Adeyinka Oyediran. Thank you for being here on the program today.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Right, let's start this way. Again, we know that, different coalitions are beginning to spring up. Political parties are gearing up. Many people are leaving different political parties to join either others or form their own political parties. So, as it stands, how can you judge the political scene ahead of the 2027 elections?
First and foremost, every one of them has fundamental rights. Mm-hmm. As a Nigerian.
Freedom of association.
Yes. And that's what it takes. You have to be a Nigerian for you to think that you want to contest a position or you want to bring yourself together to take a decision on it. You under the law, they say you cannot claim third parties ownership. So you can't be a Ghanaian to come and do that. So they are all Nigerians. So I welcome them that they have every right. But we have to look at it. Nigeria today, where are we? Where we were before, no doubt about it. Present position is tough. Mm-hmm. Present position is tough. Almost every segment of the economy or of the society called, the nation called Nigeria is complaining. But when you look at the complaint, is it normal? Yes, it's normal.
Okay.
When you feel the pain, you have to complain. Mm-hmm. But if you don't if we are not complaining, what are we going to do? It is simply because where we are coming from is been terrible. Okay. But something is fundamental. It has been a dilapidated building. Mm-hmm. Nigeria has been a dilapidated building. Two things will be involved. Okay. Either we break it down, feel the pain. Those people were the rooms that we are staying, either we juggle, we manage, we squat somewhere, or there to be able to have a good foundation, okay, which is going to be very hurting. Right. Or we allow it to remain dilapidated and we are managing whether the rain is dropping in, squirrel is entering or whatever. And we'll keep on managing. However, I would have said that the solution should be one. If you want to tell people to guide their loins and manage the situation, you have to show leadership by example. Right. The political class, the elites, are not showing that kind of example to the masses. Okay. That's why the pains is much. Right. The actual pains, the psychological pain that you said I should manage. Mm-hmm, but you are not showing that. You are not. Right. So the pains now becomes double. Again, our orientation, dissemination of information about stages where things are, it is not perfect. Majority of our people that we elect into position, the moment they get that position, majority of them live outside the area of jurisdiction, where they are known, where they have made promises and whatever. So when people see them that they are living in a comfort zone somewhere, one, it is comfort zone. Two, it is distance. You cannot feel what they're feeling. Just barge into them. For instance, somebody that contested or was being appointed from this, say, co-chauffeur or this Ikeja or this Lowland area, and you find it difficult to reach him, for you to get him, maybe he lives in Banana Island. The cost of going there, the security barrier before you get to him, if he doesn't invite you, you cannot meet him. So the pace now becomes so much that who is going to bear, who is going to give us the support? So this multiple facets are the major problems that we have. So another one is the issue of when things are like this, there are some immediate succor that people need, the basics, food.
Right.
You understand me? I don't know how government can do it. It is true that we are saying agric will be boosted by our foreign partners that we are bringing in. We are going to pump in money. Yoruba has an adage. He said, "Ayogbe aja dunde, kini kan le yon ma jẹ kaja o to gbe." To eat a dry, or how do I say, not a frozen, a smoked dog. A smoked dog meat, very, very sweet. Especially when you take it with palmy. Oh, yes, very, very good. But it must have gone through some vibrant, firebrand situation where those oil, the excessive oil will have gone off before it becomes dry. So if that one is not in place, my dear sister, crime will continue. So government should provide immediate succor. You understand me?
Okay.
Like what they did in the area of education, providing loans. They need transparency in that area too.
Okay.
They need information. Where is our MAMSA? You understand me? In different languages, in small quarters, the way it is being done at the national level, let the state government be doing it, let the local government be doing it, let job be given to CDAs, that this is where we have gotten.
Okay, Omoba, I quite agree with you that the house is dilapidated, the roof is leaking, and there are so many challenges here and there. But then, when you look at our democracy since 1999, the people have really suffered, while the political class are enjoying. So, when the people feel there's a disconnect between those that they have elected and them, wouldn't they look for alternative? Wouldn't they look for a better option?
They have every right. Because, let me tell you, sir, the middle class has collapsed. The upper class is there. The volume might not be much. But again, they are interwoven and interrelated. They mingle among themselves. If you are in that upper class, your child is to get wedded because you don't want to mix with the lower class. Let's meet in Dubai. Let's meet in this first class flight. Let's go to, what is that, your island?
I don't know. I don't have an island.
Where we did the birthday.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. You know what it costs for us to go there?
Which of the birthdays now? Your governor's birthday?
Okay, we'll get there. So, you know what? Masses cannot go there. So they feel the pain. No, the middle class has collapsed. The government needs to look at it. Here's the upper class. What is the volume of upper class? They are not many. They may not be up to 1 million. The upper class. And the lower class is multiple, and wretchedness is there. So we need, what I was expecting government to do is to create the middle class. That will be a kind of,
a bridge.
So that is the way to go. Then the sincerity on the part of those that are being appointed at the local. Imagine I have a challenge now. There's a local government where the person that is going to represent them at a particular ward lives far away in Ogun State. He sold his father's house some years ago here in Lagos State. Has no root, no link, nothing there again. Now you went to bring him to come and contest. And you are saying compulsorily he has to be there. What benefit would that be to that particular ward? And that is a ward that is having about 22 functional residential estates. Hybro, Channels Television is deposited there. Amale Phase 2 is there. what do you call it, Unilateral Estate is there. How many? Magodo Phase 1 is right in there. And somebody from Ogun State will come and represent that area. With that area, that's a complete disconnect. So that means for the next 4 years, they are not being represented. Or when you put somebody who cannot even communicate, somebody cannot think outside the box, that the only thing is that let me go there and collect my salary. But you put such a person at the end of affairs at the local government, you have suffered that local government. So the best thing is for us to restructure who goes in where.
Okay.
What does he have the capability of doing? If he cannot be productive, why putting him there?
Okay.
If that is productivity cannot be beneficiary to the constituents.
Right.
So we need to put it right. Put the ramp peg in ramp hole.
Okay.
Don't go and put a carpenter in charge of electrical job.
Okay, Omoba, valid point you've raised here this morning. Let's also quickly look at issues around party coalitions. Yes. You did say at the beginning of this conversation that everybody has a right, and of course, a right to association. But if you look at some of these coalitions that have been formed at the moment ahead of the election, would you say that indeed the coalitions they are a child of necessity or they are strategic?
It is a child of necessity.
Okay.
It is a child of necessity.
We'll find you for that.
Yeah. It is a child of necessity that we need. It's necessary now.
Okay.
Now, because in a situation where there is no a good challenge to what do you call it, the sitting government,
right?
You understand? Government don't sit right.
So there has to be viable opposition.
No, okay. Imagine the moment the emergency of what they call, is it ADC or ADC? What?
ADC.
You could see some government angle talking, function. I mean, one of organs of government talking that has not been made in the recent time.
Okay.
We now know that. I think these people are.
They're serious.
See, let me tell you. To get to the top is easier. To stay there is a problem. The moment you stay there, the forces from up will be pressurizing you. Are you coming up there? What's the problem? The one that are contemporary at that point in time will say, when did you arrive? This? Then those under will be dragging. So now that they know that there is a big challenge coming, it becomes a child of necessity.
Okay.
So both sides. But I have problem with those that are coming. When I dissect them, I look at the components.
Okay.
Majority of them are too comfort. They're in their too comfortable environment. Let me say, they are too comfortable.
Okay.
To know what the major masses are facing.
Okay.
Somebody that has been in government for the past maybe 40 years.
Right.
He has everything. Diesel has always been supplied.
Free.
Thank you, sir. He has never gone to a party without security. Police are in his house. Police are in his vehicle. Police are in his office. Police follows the wife. I went to a function. When I look at every personality that were coming there and look at the numbers of policemen that were there, I now ask, who is manning the security architecture of what is happening to us? You understand me? So they are too comfortable to know where the shoe is pinching us. I would have loved to ask them, are you sure you know our problem?
Okay.
If truly do know, or they just want to hide, to hijack this position, they use those who can do it. Now creating that middle class I'm talking about. Once that one is not there, if it is those class of people I'm seeing there that are the one that are going to rule,
or to lead,
we still have problems.
Okay.
We still have problems.
Earlier today, I was telling Abimbola that when you look at the crop of politicians in the ADC, at one time or the other, they have served this country, and they really did not make any impact. But now, we keep saying that democracy is all about the people. The people themselves, do they really know what they want? Because election will come now, they will demand for money. If you don't give me money, I will not vote. And it appears that we do not really value our vote. So can you really blame these politicians for taking advantage of the people?
It is, one, it is the problem of the masses, no doubt. But let me tell you, it is because there's no alternative. Why I said there's no alternative is that if you bring the lower cadre to come together and say they want to lead, one, to organize an election in Nigeria today, they wouldn't have the capability, the financial capability. That is one. Two, even the policy might not support them. To register, if myself and yourself say we are fed up, I want to have a new breed. How do we get ourselves registered? You get to INEC, will there be freedom? Again, majority of the people, let's take for instance, in other countries, to go and register yourself as a voter, it's not a difficult, it's like when I get to the bank, I can just take my ATM and put it inside my pocket. When it is necessary, I can easily use it. Even to vote, it's not necessary for them to have a big holiday. You can do a pre-election, maybe 3 days before the election, while you are coming back from work. So we have not been able to make all these things easy. So the people that are organizing the election, they are the ones that are dictating majority of the things that is necessary to be done for election to be, to get done. Now, and since they know that they don't want it to switch to another area, then they put some cog there that will be difficult. Conditions that individuals cannot meet. Maybe we are still going to break Nigeria into segments. States to organize their own election with their own whatever. Just like I was telling you the other time when we were talking about policing and whatever, I said when you bring an Hausa man to come and police locally in Moshi, he will find it difficult. So the same way, if you are saying that what is obtainable to them in the north is going to be obtainable to us in the south here, our orientation differ.
It does.
The order of priority differs. So in some areas, in some states, they pay those who passes WAEC to go to
their
university.
education.
Here, our student pays to even have special center. Do you understand me? And they pay, they go to because they want to. So the policy generally, it is not ripe yet.
Okay.
So this they are coming together, like you said, it is child of necessity. If you say you are not comfortable with the idea, then probably you want to move to other. Do you have what it takes to be able to organize yourself
into a political party,
to have a party and that register, can compete with them?
Okay.
The last time Labour Party, they did their best. They have masses around them, but they didn't have enough money to pay their agents.
Omoba, so still talking about this political parties being child of necessity or they are strategic. Do you see, especially now that the ADC is here, and then the last time INEC spoke, there are about close to 161 new bodies that have applied to become political parties. So peradventure, some of them are given the go-ahead to be political parties. We would have myriads of political parties in Nigeria. Do you
if they are registered?
If they are registered by INEC. So
will they be registered?
Well, that's left to INEC to decide at the end of the day. Peradventure, they get registered ahead of the 2027 election. Do you see this as a motivating factor for Nigerians, especially knowing full well that we have recorded voter apathy, especially during the last election? So if we do have more political parties or the registration of a few more political parties added to what we have on ground, do you see that as igniting some trust in the electorate?
If only the masses have learned
their lessons. Okay.
Because no matter, even if you have two political parties in Nigeria, the level of wretchedness is a factor.
So we're still engrossed in money politics.
The antecedent of politicians is a factor. The orientation, getting our priority right, is a factor. There's a Yoruba adage that says, you. It is with empty stomach. You understand me? If you can be able to hold yourself, you can decide that I don't want to eat rubbish. There's a difference between eagle and the vulture. The vulture can eat remnant. Eagle eats only fresh food. Now, how many people can stand their feet and say, look, no matter what you give to me during election,
I'm not voting for you.
I'm not even taking it. You understand me? If you are not taking it, what about the young ones? Are they going to be, as you are rejecting it, your neighbor is taking it? Again, another thing is that our judiciary is still better than what it used to be.
Right.
But it's still a problem. Because the day it becomes the hope of the common man that, look, if anybody does wrong, he will be punished. Your party will be this way. How many? I want you to give me the record of criminals that committed crime during previous election. Have we blacklisted them? Have we pasted? Have we gotten our own Nigerian Guinness Book of Record that will accommodate their names so that they and their family, maybe they are banned for the next 20 years? Have we gotten that? How many have been jailed? Only few scapegoats. I learned a professor is in jail because he committed electoral fraud, maybe where Akpabio came from. How many from Lagos? How many from Ogun? How many from?
So we have to be serious,
especially
from
the northern part.
Okay.
They don't prosecute
electoral offenses.
Offenses. They don't. Even if they start it today, tomorrow, all you hear is that the court was burnt and all facts have been destroyed.
All right. I want us to be very realistic now. There are some reforms of this government that are quite good and some are not impacting the people at all. And this was how the PDP was in power for quite a number of years and the people were taken for granted. And before we know it, PDP was out. What will be your advice for the ruling party as we speak?
Thank you.
Because there's a strong disconnect between the people and this government. Fine, there are reforms here and there, and the spokesperson of the government is saying, oh, we have done this, we have done that, things are changing, but the people are still hungry. And the people will be the one to determine who becomes what in 2027. So what are those realistic things that you think the APC should do to get the trust of the people back?
I am appealing at this point in time on behalf of every Nigerian, home and abroad, to the present government that I can see your policy. They are fantastic. The blueprints are good. And the starting points, very good. No doubt about that. I could see, look at what the Minister of Interior has done. Within a short period of time, you can take your passport. Can we borrow the song of Lionel Richie? Let the music play on. Let the music play on. So in that regard, the tempo must not be lowered. Okay. Okay. The area of education, what they have done in the area of loan,
the student loan,
transparency, very, very important. Then ability to pay, methodology to pay back in a mild manner, not in a terrible condition. If you are saying that when they start work, provide the work, you understand me, so that they will be able to pay. When the atmosphere is conducive, not everybody wants to defraud. You understand me? Fantastic. But you mentioned something. The stomach. You know, if you don't go to work the next 1 week, that one has no revolutionary bearing with your eating ability. If care is not taken, your metabolic activity will continue even to work more than when you are busy. So you tend to consume. Have you noticed the children when they are at home, when they are not going to school? Do you know that your mothers you are in trouble when they are at home?
They are always hungry.
The day they are coming back from school, you are happy. Hey, my children, yes or no? Now, within the next 1 week, you want to say, because you have gone to the kitchen.
Please come and go back
both
to your
the one that is useful to their tummy or not. They even waste some they bring their friend, and that one is depleting your pocket. So when you look at that, you know that, like I said, government have done some good things.
Yes.
But the tempo need to continue.
Okay.
The check and balances at every point in time. It is not that we have done it within 1 year. Let it continue. Then I want to beg the president and those that are his proxies, whatever he's doing at that national level, let it be replicated
At the state level.
at the state level.
And the local.
And let it be domicile, whatever the state is doing. Domicile. Okay. Let the governor be up and doing. During Shagari regime, we have some people they call PLO, President Liaison Officer. Let state government has state liaison officers.
Okay.
Otumba Gbengene did it when he was serving in Ogun State as governor. Aside the normal structure, he has some special, setup. We call it governor liaison officer. In each of the local government, they are reporting whatever the local government is doing to another table that belongs to governor again.
Okay.
You understand me? So at every point when the local government chairman comes in and said, sir, we have done this. Sorry, he doesn't tally with this and whatever. I want to give you an example. A chairman brought a bill, a paper to the governor to approve that he wants to have a center into a place called, don't let me mention so that you don't start fighting. Do you know that by the time he relates it to what the governor liaison officer brought, it shows that it is inside a village that nobody is going to party. They will just be collecting money on a monthly basis after the structure there. Okay. And right there and then, he agreed and he said, okay, I am going to approve it, but it's going to be
in
established here.
Okay.
Where about 7 communities are going to benefit. Okay. And the thing is starting fast today. So they can borrow, live from that, have governor liaison officer. The chairman too can also have liaison officer in each of the, they will be like police.
Okay.
So that is the way that whatever is coming to
we'll get to the grassroots.
Can't get
Omoba, before we allow you go, in 30 seconds, we cannot wish away the coalitions. We've seen one, and there's the possibility that others could also spring up before the election. But for you, what should be their guiding principles, if indeed they want to work as an opposition?
They should look at what government has not done right.
Okay.
And be ready to do it. They should not just make promises. They should sign the promises, publish it, for even if it is possible, take it to court for the court to assent to it. Okay. That if we are unable to do this within this period, we will be ready to go. Obasanjo did something. He appointed some minister, and the day he appointed them, he took letter of resignation from them. So when we have this kind of situation, that be on your toe, and when you steal like this or steal this one, you forfeit what. I like what is happening in Edo State now. If you use your house as a harboring whatever for cultism, you not only that you just lose it, the house will be demolished because they know that tomorrow, if the governor goes away, you can go to court and recover the money. So that means whatever you have labored for is waste. Gone. Whatever you compromise to gain, let it be. When we have such a thing, then you can be able to use that one to woo the masses. If there are alternatives, when there are no alternative, there can be choices. Right. Let there be multiple. It is to me, it's a developing situation. Right. I don't mind them. If they like, let us have 3, 4 coalitions, and government should allow them registered and allow them to strive. Don't sniff life out of them. The life is not all about the present crops of politicians or the elites. For God's sake. Whatever we do today, we are going to report. Let the atmosphere be conducive. Let them tell. So whoever is doing it, by the time before or during nighttime, we normally sleep at nighttime offices before we can send telex to or whatever. You call your people overnight, you have to sleep at it. But by the time
the regulation came,
when the regulation, so this one too, politically. Let us have choices. The regulation.
Let us have choices.
When we have choices, then when we have multiples, then we have choices. We can pick your choices. Then when you pick your choice, the one that is better for you, you align. Nobody will beg anybody to come. You don't need to force people to come, and your program
Would
should
attract
attract the people.
Okay.
And that's what I want to.
Okay, we'll have to leave this conversation here this morning. Thank you so much, Omoba Adeyinka Oyediran, social commentator, for finding time to be with us on the program this morning. Thank you.
Most pleasure, man.
All right, that's it. I'm sure that, of course, that was a fine place to have left this conversation this morning. Do not stifle the opposition. Let everybody play their part. And, of course, it is whatever you do that will attract, people to either be for you or be against you. We'll take a quick break. When the conversation returns, it will shift to Adeyinka.
The views expressed on this program do not represent that of the producer, management of Lagos Television, or the Lagos State Government. They remain the perspectives of those expressing them. Thank you for staying with Lagos Television.